two things that drive Guitar Sight Reader Toolbox are the chords and the scales. So right now I'm going to show you how to alter the chords, add a new chord, delete a chord, and change the order. So let's just go to Chords. You go to this box here, or you can access it through here, add a reorder, chord scales. Let's go to the box, click on that, and we get a list of all our chords here. We have our guitar fretboard. We can have bass, 4, 5, and 6 string, depending on which is more familiar to us. I'm going to use guitar here. So let's make, first of all, let's load a chord. So we can check out what's going on with the chords. Say if we want to check out C major 13 sharp 9. Now if you don't understand spelling, it might be good to check out the video on spelling, which I'll add shortly if it's not already up. And we've chosen our chord, and then we click load. Now what that does is it shows us the chord as it stretches right across the fretboard, all 24 frets. We've got our name up here. Over here we have nomenclature. As we can see, it's got the for major 7, it's got a triangle. Let's go through the spelling. So there's nothing like 9s or 2s or flat 9s here. There's a sharp 9 in this chord. There's a 3. There's a 5, and there's a 13 and a 7 chord. That 7, natural 7 there, gives us that major 7 kind of sound. So we can check that out by playing it. Interesting. So, I'm sure there is a place for that chord somewhere. Alright, so there we have our chord. We can do that with any of the other chords. For example, if we want to see the major chord stretch right across the fretboard, just click on it, load. And if you're familiar with fretboards and your major chord map as it stretches across the fretboard, that will look quite familiar. Notice that we've chosen it in C. We can change that to, say, G or A, anything like that, just so that we can get a handle on those things. And it'll play back from A right now. Very good. Alright, so that's how to check out the chords. The same thing happens with the scales. So let's take this A major and let's add, I don't know, something strange like a flat 7, double flat 7. Okay, so what I can do now is I'm going to add this chord. So I'm going to put it, say, I'm going to click on this minor here. Actually, I'll click on the minor 7. What it's going to do is it's going to add this chord underneath that minor 7. So wherever you want to put it, you can just add it. Okay, so let's call this something strange like bad. You'll notice that the small b is a flat and the hash will be a sharp. So let's see, let's call it Hannibal Lecter, just for fun. Okay, so I'm ready to add this. Now that nomenclature looks ridiculous, but that's because I'm choosing Hannibal Lecter. So let's just. Alright, so let's that's as far out. Okay, let's just call it Mama. Okay, so let's save that. We're there. We save it. And there it is. There's our wonderful chord. It's added to the chord list. Now obviously I don't really want this chord to be in my chord list, so I might just delete it. So I just click delete. Do you really want to delete the chord called Mama? Go ahead and delete it. There you go. And it's gone again. Alright, now say if, for example, you think, well, I want to change the order of this. Well, that's pretty easy. Say if you wanted to add the 6, you just click on it and drag it and it'll reorder it. Now, it won't keep that order unless you click Save the Order. So when you click Save the Order, that 6 will always appear in the list behind minor. minor. Okay, if you just go out of this page, don't click Save the Order, well, it's pretty obvious what will happen. So also you might be interested to know, when we loaded this, that you've got a description of the chord. Now, when you save a chord, you can add a description of the chord. You might want to add what scale it goes with. I haven't really done a lot of that with the chords here, but I'm sure as time goes on, I'll include a feature where you can import chords and scales so that we can have an ever-growing list of chords and scales. Yeah, this is just before we release this, so development is just about finished, but I'm sure in time we will have that feature. So let's just go out of this, and scales are pretty much the same deal. Okay, we've got quite a list of scales here, and once again you can add any one of the 12 notes here. You might notice that before it just had simple one note names, but these have like the 2 or 9. It's the same actual note, flat 2, flat 9. Now I want to add one special information about one special feature here, and that's click to get special note passing note. Now the special note, basically, for example, if we've already got it here, but say if we load up a bebop scale, let's go to use G. Alright, so here's our one. We can either click on the fretboard like this, and it will automatically put this note in. So we'll just go through. I know it's got a 3, it's got a 4, 5, a 6, and it's got a 7. Now actually it's got a flat 7, I should say. Let's get rid of that. So let's check it out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7. Now the passing note in a dominant scale, a dominant bebop scale, is a major 7. So what we do is we click on this here, and then we locate we can either put it in here, which is what I'm going to do, and it adds a little X. Now that's our passing scale. Let's just double click off it, and it clears it. Okay, let's do it, because right now let's be back at notes. So let's click on the fretboard and add it. Okay, so here's our G, it's slightly oranger than the other yellow notes, and just go down 1 fret. Here's our natural 7, click on it, and it's added. So that's a special passing tone, which means that, for example, especially in the dominant bebop scale, if you start from G, or any of the other chord tones, which would be G, D, B, or actually F, if you go down from any of these notes, and you go down from the F to the F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It means that will fill up the whole bar. So it's very melodic, and this is a great device used by many bebop players. So it basically means that all the chord tones are on the strong beats, like 1, 2, 3, 4, if you're playing 8th notes, for example. Okay, that's enough prattling on about that. You can play the scale, of course. Very good, and you can hear that starting from G, going up to G, and it really captured the notes of the chords, because on the 1, 2, 3, 4s, it was playing G, B, D, F, and then back up to G. Okay, so that's pretty much how you add chords and scales. Remember, you can add a description. Many of these do have descriptions. For example, if I load diminished half whole, it's got there's a lot of descriptions added here, stuff that I've got off the net, and I've added as many scales as I could find. So once again, if you know of any other scales you want to add, here's the place to do it. So that's pretty much how you can add chords and scales. Check out the other things, and I'll see you later.